Chapter 13, Electric Current and its Effects. Introduction. It is certainly hard to imagine a world without electricity. However, what would happen if instead of a battery, you used a lemon to power a light bulb? Would it glow? The answer is yes. Electric current flows through any material or substance which is a conductor of electricity. And when this electric current reaches the bulb, why does it glow? It is because the current is supplying it with energy. This energy in the electric current is converted by the bulb into light. The bulb glows, and heat, the filament gets hot.
Electric circuits. In class 6, we learnt how current flows into a circuit. For current to flow, we need a closed circuit. An electric circuit contains the following components: a battery to generate current, wires to connect battery and other components, a device which works on current, such as a bulb or a toy fan, an electrical switch. When the switch is closed, the circuit gets completed and current flows. When the switch is open, the circuit is open and the current does not flow. We will discuss all of these in detail. Battery. Battery is a device which generates current by a chemical reaction. You must be using batteries in toys, torches and remote controls. The basic unit of a battery is a cell. A cell usually contains a metal container filled with chemicals and a carbon rod. It has a positive and a negative terminal. When both these terminals are joined to a device through wires, the cell generates current to make the device work. Sometimes one cell is not enough to run a device like a remote or a toy. In this case, two or more cells can be joined together to form a series of cells. In a series, the positive terminal of one cell is joined to the negative terminal of the next cell. This series of cells is called a battery. Switch. A switch is used to open and close a circuit. Switch is also called a key. When a switch is on, it connects the two open ends of the circuit. The circuit flows into it. When the switch is off, the two ends of the circuit are open and the current does not flow through it. We use electric switches to run all devices at home. Appliances. A circuit is always connected to an appliance that works with current. For example, the filament of a bulb gets heated up by current and glows. A fan's blades rotate when current passes through it. Conducting wires. Conducting wires are used to connect different components of a circuit. These are generally copper wires with an insulated covering. Copper is a very good conductor of current and hence is used for this purpose.
Circuit diagram.
A circuit diagram is a figure which represents all components of a circuit and the connections between them. In a circuit diagram, different components are shown by symbols which are easy to draw. Some of these are as follows. Components, symbol. Cell. The longer line represents positive terminal and shorter line represents negative terminal. Battery. Key on, key off. Wire. Bulb. Off, on. Ammeter. Voltmeter.
Effects of electric current.
Many different types of devices work on electric current. A heater and a bulb produce heat and light. A fan rotates. A pump pulls water. A microwave produces waves. Electric current is used to run a variety of gadgets. Let us see how this happens. Heating effect of current. Flow of current through a metal always produces some heat. You can see the heating effect of current in an electric iron. You know that all solids are made up of particles. These particles, called atoms, vibrate at their position. When current flows through a solid, the vibrations of atoms resist its passage. This produces heat. Metals like copper, silver and aluminium do not resist the flow of current to an appreciable degree. Hence, these are called good conductors. These metals do not heat up much on passing current. However, metals and alloys like tungsten and nichrome offer high resistance to current. As a result, when current passes through these substances, they heat up quickly. Many devices such as geyser, kettles, hair dryer, electric iron oven, etc. work on this principle. In a bulb, the thin filament is made up of tungsten. When the current passes through it, a lot of heat is generated. The filament starts glowing and produces lot of heat. The heat generated by a device depends upon the thickness and length of the filament used in it. A very important use of heating effect is in electric fuse. An electric fuse is a safety device connected in every domestic and commercial circuit. It contains a wire made up of an alloy which has low melting point. If due to some reason there is sudden overflow of current in the circuit, the fuse wire heats up and melts, breaking the circuit. This prevents damage to the appliances connected to the circuit and prevents a fire due to short circuit. These days, household and commercial circuits are connected to a miniature circuit breaker, MCB. It has a series of switches connected to different circuits in the house. MCB allows only a certain amount of current to pass through the circuit. If the current exceeds this limit, the supply is cut off.
Magnetic effect of current. When current passes through a conductor, it can also produce magnetic effect.
Discovery of electromagnetism. Electromagnetism was first discovered by Hans Christian Ørsted. He was a professor of science at the Copenhagen University. While performing the experiments with electric current, he found that if a compass needle was brought near a current-carrying wire, the needle deflected. A straight wire carrying current acts as a weak magnet. To create a stronger magnetic force, a cylindrical coil of wire can be used. A coil of wire which acts as a magnet when current passes through it is called a solenoid. The two ends of the wire act as its two poles. Electromagnet. Electromagnet is made by winding insulated copper wire around a rod of iron or any other magnetic material. When current is passed through the wire, the electromagnet shows its magnetic properties. However, as soon as the current supply is cut off, the magnetism is lost.
Uses of electromagnets. Electromagnets are used in many devices. To remove iron splinter from the eyes in case of an eye injury. To separate magnetic material for recycling in a junkyard. To make electromagnetic door locks for security. To make electric bells.
Working of electric bell. An electric bell contains a circuit with a switch, battery, an electromagnet, a soft iron armature connected to a spring, a gong, and a hammer. It works in the following way. When the current flows through the circuit, the electromagnet creates a magnetic field which attracts the soft iron armature. As the armature moves towards the electromagnet, the hammer hits the gong and sound is produced. The circuit breaks.
The current stops flowing and the magnetic field of the electromagnet is lost. So, the armature moves back and connects to the circuit again.
This cycle continues and causes repeated hitting of the hammer on the gong, producing continuous sound.